はい、ということで、続き、コメンタリーの続きですね。選択まで終わったんで、世界観かな。
So yeah, we're going to play a bit of the junkyard scene.
Yes,
so
in
it's we love the junkyard scene because a lot of different elements, but the first one I think is the environment. I think the environment artists have made
これ
something
一個一
incredible
個
here.
ね、
For
オ
Life
ブ
is
ジェク
Strange,
ト
we
ってい
really
うか
wanted to have a stylized rendering. We didn't
レン
want
ダ
it
リングがイラスト
to be
的だと。
realistic
まあそうですね。
or
写真とかもイラストですか
so
ら、ね、
every
イ
texture
ラストっ
has
ぽい
been hand painted to
感じ
give
ですから
this
ね。
impressionistic feeling. And
す
I
べて
think
手書き
in
っ
the
ぽい感
junkyard
じが
it's
あり
really
ますよね。
interesting because there is so many details that's where this kind of simpler texture are working well. Because if this scene was overly detailed with cracks in the rust and everything, it would become really noisy to look at. We did a lot of work on the lighting effects and the atmosphere, so it was really important for us to capture this morning feeling with very cold colors in the fog, but a slightly
まあ多分
warm
こういう
sun
テイ
that
ストが得意
brings
なんでしょうね。
some
この監督は。
soft and warm
監
feeling
督
to
っていう
the
かディレ
scene.
クター。どっ
This
ちだ
scene
った
is
っけ
also
ミシェ
a
ル
good example of what we want to do in terms of
イラスト
environmental
関係って言ってた
storytelling.
けど。
We've got a lot of different objects who are there and who has their own story and
Okay, let's do this. Can you find 5 bottles while I prep the shooting range?
Beer and guns? Nice combo.
You can handle it. Now go find us 5 bottles.
this is one of the
pretty
best
please.
puzzles of the game, I
Yeah,
think.
I think it is.
Ah.
I think
The-
I think it's mostly the final bottle
俺
that
も
was
詰まった
really
気が
hard
する
to
な。
find
結
and
構
we
グダっ
made a
て
mistake
カ
on
ット
it
した気
because
が
it
する
was
な。
maybe too well
探
hidden.
してる途
Our
中。
goal for this was just to allow the player to push the player to visit the place while looking for those bottles because there is a lot of interesting things to discover. Basically, the junkyard is where Chloe brought Max to try her power, but it's also where Chloe and Rachel were hanging out together before Rachel disappeared. So this place here was this small hideout for Chloe and Rachel, and we tried a lot of what we did in the whole game with the environmental storytelling can be seen here
環
because
境
there
に
is a
よる
lot of
語りっていうのが
everything that we really like to
一個の
do
フレ
to tell
ー
with
ズ、
the
キ
environment.
ーワ
It's
ー
a
ドなんで
good
しょう
way
ね。キーフレーズ
to,
か。
of course, to show more to the player. So it's
And it's also to give rewards to the player who want to know more about the characters and who is curious. Because you can do
確かにね。
you can do this whole scene without
調べないと進めない要素って
there
い
is
うの
some
は
hidden stuff.
ほ
This
ぼ
one
ない
is
ですからね
harder to find.
え、こんなとこにもあったの
Not every player find it.
あ、これ全く気づ
And
い
this
て
is
ない気
big
がす
letter
る。
that Rachel wanted to write
レイ
to
チェル
Chloe
が
and
ク
maybe
ロエに。
didn't.
へ
Never
ー、
gave
俺
it to
多分
her.
これ
In Life is Strange, we really
見つ
tried
けて
to
ない
put
な。
a lot of attentions to the details. So we have a lot of various levels of things, and if you look around, you can find some really small details that are useless to the main story but interesting.
Actually, we start to play with that, putting more and more things in corner, in dark area to see if
デザイナーの遊
player
び
can
心ってやつ
spot
です
it
ね。
or
まあ、
not.
やろうと思えば
And
無限というか、ほぼ無限
They
にでき
noticed
ますから
things
ね
that。we thought they could not notice, like on a shirt we have letters that when you put in the right order it says
へ
no fucks
ー。
given, and they noticed.
I
あ、あそこ
don't
も
know about
でき
this.
てたんだな。
Are you
なんかの
afraid
文
of
章
getting
に
in
なるって。
trouble? Oh, boo-hoo, Max is afraid. I know you can handle this, and I'm here to guide you. Make me proud, sister.
Life is Strange really is a game about choice and consequences. So we have a lot of choice you can make in the game, which will have consequences later on in the same episode or in the other episode. And there is one big choice in this scene, right, that will happen, for example.
Yeah, the idea for each choice
そ
is
っか。
is
これ
really to
全
have
部見ながらやっ
not
てんだ
easy
な、コメン
choice to
タ
take,
リー。
even if it's not life or
それを
best choice like you could have in other game or
ちょいちょい
it's more
抜粋して見
everyday
せ
life
ていく
choices.
感
The
じか。
important is really to
って
make
ことは
your own
エ
and
ピソード
to decide
5まで
to
やんの
live
か、こ
with
れ。
it. So that's why with Max Power it's of course more difficult because you can try a choice. You're not sure, you're going to rewind and you're going to make the other one, but the important is if you want to continue and to move on, you have to keep on one and live with the consequence. So this is in this choice
This
in
one is
particular.
interesting.
What do you want to do, Michel? For the
Um,
first one.
I don't think I would shoot a guy anyway, so I would say
So we won't shoot.
I won't shoot.
So you can see directly some consequence. It means that you don't have gun anymore because Frank is going to take it. Chloe will be pissed off.
You can of course rewind
最初俺もこっちにした気がするな、打たないに。
and try the other one. But something that's really interesting, because it was a lot of work at the beginning, because we were thinking that if you have the rewind, does it not completely destroy the fact that you are making choices? And actually, we've seen that players are really hesitating. We've watched some Let's Play video, and we've seen players just,
プレイ動画
even
見
if
た
they
の
knew that they could go back, they were hesitating so much when they make a choice. I think it's interesting.
まあ、やり直せると分かっていても葛藤するっていうのは、この後に影響するかもしれないって思ってるからですよね。瞬間を切り取る。
Here we'll be out of the campus for the first time for the
Yes.
player. So this is the first time the player will be able to use
あれこれ、あれ
his
か。
power
時
when
系
he
列じゃないん
He
だ
can
な。
do before, but there was no so
さっき
many
エピソード
interaction and puzzles.
2
Here
だ
there's,
ったよな、フランク。
really
違
wanted
ったっ
to
け
have a lot of different things to do.
少なくともこれより後だった気がするけど。
just to see fun stuff.
But we use this kind of environment for the players who like to take their time and just to talk to characters, to look around. It really gives a sense of presence to Max, to the world.
The important aspect of the game is really to give some rewards to the player who want to do that and to want to take his time. So with this kind of sequences, for example, we give what we call a reward, but in fact it's just new element of the game. For example, here you will have new layer of music. You can hear some new layer of music. You will have all those camera shots that you can't have inside the
when you're
classic
playing.
walkthrough and classic gameplay in third person. So this kind of beautiful shots you have only because you have chosen to take your time and to sit on the
場面場
fountain.
面で。
So the music,
いろいろ
the
変わるっ
shots,
てこと
and
ね。
of course the voiceover of Max also at the beginning. We hear what Max is thinking just here. So this kind of rewards will push, we think, the
確かに
player
こう、
to
なんてい
do
う
that
か、
again and again. So this is really something we wanted to have.
In
な
this
んて
game,
言った
it's
らいいんです
always
かね。まあ、
feeling a
こ
bit
う、
like
環境ムービー
what
的な
Max is feeling.
要素もありますよ
And
ね。
it was we
Relax
really wanted
movie
to focus
と言ったらいいのか。
on those moments. It was really capturing the moment when you can really take your time to reflect on yourself, and that's what Max is doing in
やっぱ
in
そういう
those
映
scenes.
像
That's
表現み
something
たいなもの
that
に、
not a
やっ
lot
ぱ
of
り
games are doing to let the player take
自
his
信がある
time,
っていうか、
because
そっ
in
ち
a
専
lot of
門
games
なの
it's
かもし
just
れないです
like
ね、
you
もしか
need
した
to
ら。
go
お
forward, you
話を
need to
作る
go
って
to
いうより
this
は。
checkpoint, you need to do this
まあ、お
and
話を
this.
作るのももちろん専門なんだろうけど、得意なのはそっちなのかもしれないですね。
A tool that the player can use when he wants.
まあ、映像の人間
where
っていう
he
のは
wants.
結構
It
そういう
won't be
人間が多いと
scripted.
思いますけど、映像で見せることが好きっていうか、
Sequence, for example, on a
綺麗な
technical
ものを
point
見
of
せ
view,
る
you
のが
have
好
to
きというか。
record all the different things that happens in the scene.
Since you can rewind time, you can basically be at any part of the scene at any moment you like. Designing puzzles with the rewind was very hard. When you think it's done, you think you've seen everything about it, you think the situation is in place and is going to be
そう、
working
整合性
well.
みたいなことがね、
There's always this tiny
す
little
げえ
thing
大変だと思いま
that's
すけどね。
fucking it up.
Those elements are not really deterministic, so when you rewind, you're not sure that you will be able to restore the particle system in the same state.
Seriously, do not forget I need those papers before tonight. Like now. Thanks, Sherry.
ビクトリアってこんな声だった
And
の
this is the dormitories. This is also something that was interesting for us, is to talk about dorm life. So we wanted to use this setting because we can really talk about social issues, like the girls have their room. Do you really like the people who live next to you? How the relationship are working inside the dormitory? Like
料理
right
した
now,
方
it's
がね、
interesting if
こ
you have
う
different
接
music
触
that
も多い
can
です
come
から
from
ね
the。different rooms. It's a really interesting setting to set up a lot of characters easily.
Here the idea is really to
あれこんな曲
again
かかってたっけ
have
な
this believable universe of the students. We'll have to focus on what we want to tell and what we want to develop.
In each episode, Alisa is getting hit or in danger by something, and you can decide or not to use the rewind power to warn her and to actually
さあ、アリッサ
get her
助け
out
る
of
ルート
trouble.
なんもなかっ
And
たな、
again, I
結局。
think it's links to also
助けたっ
the
てだ
Kate
けで。
story and this kind of stuff. It's not just here to have fun. It's also to talk about those difficulties you can have when you could be someone like Alisa and having this
ああ、
kind
まあ
of
そういう意味の
problems.
ね、あれはあり
And it's
ありますけど、要素
Always a way to find the little detail and little elements that will bring more to the characters, how we are defining them, without sometimes telling too much.
So this is the same actress as Chloe.
Yeah,
The
not
two
so many
main
actors.
actresses who are playing Max and Chloe did also the other students. And so
まあ
you can-
いろんな声を一人が担当してるなっていうのは気づきましたけどね。
You can see Max
モ
and
ブという
Chloe
か
here.
一般人の声とか。
The body animation is done in motion capture on this project. We've done a lot of shooting in motion capture with French companies. The two
あれ
main
この人たちはフラン
Max
ス
and
人じゃない
Chloe,
の
like for the voice actor, in fact, they are always played by the same actress, Serena and Gabrielle. So all the body language and the body animation you will see in the
そうそう、
in
こ
the
の二
game
人がどういう、
are
実際どういう
done
人
by
なのか
them.
っていうのは全然わかんないんで、
And so in each scene we
ちょっと見てみたいなと思いましたけど、そのインタビューあんのかな？
with them and they
な
add
さそうだ
some.
な。
Both of them they have given something to the character, even for Max, because Serena was a bit shy at the beginning of the project, and at the end of the project she was different, and we can see the evolution of Max inside her acting. So
Who did you tell?
The principal. But he didn't seem to believe me.
The principal? Are you still 12? That drunk jackass only cares about cash for Blackwell Academy. Don't trust him.
I didn't mention you at all.
this is the first time we will really see the Max universe by discovering a room. So let's go inside.
It was a really important scene for us because you're playing as Max in the game, so you already start to know some about her with what happened before in episode 1. But when you enter
そうそう、やっ
her
とここ
room,
で
it's
ね、
really her universe.
マックス
It's
がどういう
everything
人
in
かっ
this
ていうの
room
がわかるん
should
ですよね。
describe her, who she is, why she is like this, and
趣味
speak a
と
bit
か
more
そういう
about
意
her
味でも。
past.
There's quite a lot in
Yeah,
this room, in
there's a
fact,
lot,
compared to the because we tried, I think, episode after episode also to focus on different things, and we can't put too many objects in a room.
If you want to play a character for 5 episodes, you need to invest in this character, and all those kind of details and were really important to make a connection between the player and Max, to learn a bit more about what she
Connection
experienced
っていうのは
before, and maybe also
感情移
why
入。
she is how she is right now. Something we really wanted to have with Max From is also to have a great
ちょっと聞き間違い
contrast
かもしれないけど。
between Max and Chloe. So it was really important to have those two characters. Max and Chloe are really different. They are quite opposite at the beginning of the story. So we wanted that her personality and also her universe, her rooms reflect that. And we took for Max this a sort of softer colors. We have the pink in.
ああ、この
I
部屋
think
の
our
いろん
bed
な
cover is really
人の
soft.
部屋のメイキ
The
ング
small
っていうのは
cushions
す
with
ご
the
い
flowers, the teddy bear.
細かく
We've got a lot of
て
different environments
ちゃ
in
ん
the
とで
game,
も
but
違いがちゃんと
really
出てていい
be
なと
able
思います
to
ね。
revisit the environments and to have other scenes taking place in the same environments but telling different stories and telling different sequences. So, for example, in this room, when you go back here in the house in the alternate reality, we will find an empty room of an empty Chloe room, and you have been here so many times before the episode 4 with Chloe, having fun with Chloe, listening to music. Going back here without anything, you will directly see what you've lost and what this another reality means for Chloe and for you.
Max, try to find the light for the pool. I want to see the sharks.
Otters don't like sharks. They bite.
So do I. Hit that
We've
light.
done the same with the swimming pool, for example. We've got a great scene in the swimming pool between Max and Chloe when they are alone during the night, and after you got this huge vortex party, which is a really different atmosphere. So this is kind of...
On the production point of view, it's basically a brand new environment, but
Ah,
it's still in the
同
same
じ場所か。
place and
確かにね。
with a lot of similarities. So it's really important to show.
まあ色味もね、
important for us
わざ
to show
と
the changes
対照的に
that
したんで
Max
しょうね。
can create with
別
her
にクラブ
power
側っ
and
ぽく
the
てもいいです
changes
からね
to。the characters and to the
本
world.
当は。リアルな問題。
Stop treating me and my mom like we're your family platoon.
Hey, leave Joyce out of this.
I wish you'd leave Joyce, like now.
Seeing this kind of family violence, and it's something you can have encountered as a player. I think we all know some people who got some difficulties, and you can have by yourself also. Here, the choice you're going to take will have consequences on the relation between Max and Chloe, but also on her father.
Hey, you okay?
Welcome to the real step douches of Arcadia Bay.
I'm sorry.
For what? He would have been a bigger dick if he caught you in here.
David could seem very archetypal.
Yes,
and
again, one dimension at the beginning, but then we are making
episode
him
after
evolve.
episode, you can see that maybe he's very he's got his own reason to be
his own
like
issues,
this.
and I think not at any moment we are justifying the fact that he could hit Chloe or be how it is, but just showing a perspective that
まあ
not
こういう
everything
暴
is
力
black
表
and
現は
white.
ね、
So
いろいろ
we
と
did a
今
lot of research
今っていうか
to be
まあ
sure that we were
作品のそ
dealing
の
with
なんていう
with
か
those
許可
themes
という
in a
か
good way. Too much
R
gamifying
指
this,
定みたい
we
なこ
could
ととかで
really maybe
難しいの
hurt
かも
some
しれない
people,
ですけど
and
ね。
if we are talking about issues
なので
those
まあ
people have
ビンタ
had
程度にしといたん
and
でしょう
not
ね。
making it right, it could be worse, and it couldn't be the opposite of
まあ
what we
本当はね、
wanted to do.
DV とか言ったら普通に殴ると思いま
So
すけ
here
ど
is
ね。
a Kate character that
あ、でも向こうだ
you
とどう
have
なんだ
met
ろう。
in the first episode, but not so much. And the episode 2 is
向こうの方
really
が厳しいの
focused
かな、やっ
on
ぱそういう
Kate
の。
and Kate's story. And
まあとは言いつつね、薬物普通に
so
But
出し
this
ますけ
scene
ど
is
ね。
a good way again to
まあ何が厳しいかってやっぱ国によってっていうか文化によって違うんだろう
but
な。
also try to show more of the other characters, Victoria and Taylor. So we are continuing of what was shown about
まあただ
Victoria
い
in
じめの
episode
表
one,
現っていうのはなん
like,
か
she's,
まあやっぱ世界共
really a
通なんだ
mean
なって思い
person
ま
that
したけ
she
ど。
was she's harassing Kate because she makes fun of her. And so this kind of scene, yes, is we are really trying to advance the story, bring out more of the
あ、そう
characters.
か。
And
暴力表現というよりは
great
DV が
cameras
問題
and
なの
it's-
か。普通に喧嘩はしてるもんな。ウ
Max
ォー
Selby
レン
thought she
と
was a badass taking
姉
that
さんとか。
picture.
we wanted really to talk about all the cyberbullying, the fact that it's quite difficult for a teenager nowadays to be connected as everyone is now. I think everyone has got a
There's a
phone, is connected always.
We are using the text message a lot, and we are making fun
Yeah.
with that. So we are really thinking about both sides of the social
ショートメ
media.
ッセージとかね、
On the other hand, we've got
SNS とかをこ
dark
う
aspect
自然に入れてるの
of
は
internet
うまい
could
な
be
と思いました
really,
けど。
really difficult to live. I think
When it's-
a lot of players could recognize some of them inside Kate, and we've received a lot of letters from players who say that helped us
ああ、そういう
also
こと
to
か。リアルで
realize
そういう
what they've been through.
メールが来たっ
We
てこと
wanted
か。
to have this scene since the beginning. We are quite happy that we managed to keep
Managed
it,
to
and
keep
work with Square Enix was great for that.
まあ
We-
結構ね、
we
微妙な
managed to
問題だ
keep
と
a
思い
lot
ます
of
けどね。
difficult scenes like this one. It's not only about talking about the themes, it's
やっぱ
also
印象的
to
なシーンっていうの
be sure
は
that
ね、やっぱ
it's
クリエイターっていうか、
anchored
こういう
inside
の
our
は
story.
必要だし、
And here, of course, this
作りたいけど、
experience and the Kate story will
こう実際にね、
push Max to
経営の面というか
think
運営
about
の
the
面から言う
power,
と
to think about the consequences,
うわ、これ
to
ちょっ
think
と
about the relation
ちょっ
with
ときつ
other
いかなみたいな
characters.
ことと
Actually
か
the one
ある
time
でしょうから
in
ね
the。game where Max's power fails her. So when you arrive on the roof, you are really by yourself. You have to talk Kate out of jumping, and this was also the second part of what we wanted to do with this theme, is to show that if you care to the people you like, you can help them, and that's basically what Max has to do at this moment, is really to care about Kate, to show her that she knows her, that she's her friend, and to really take out of jumping. I think that's something that was interesting on writing all these scenes, and is even in episode 1, you know, Kate was written as somehow as some type of archetype. She's a bit religious. She's for abstinence. She has this basically pro-life ideas. So maybe some of the players could think that she's boring character, but the way we evolved her and write her in the other episode, we really wanted to show that even if you go past the first appearance of someone, that's something that you might feel not interesting or different to you, you can find really good things and interesting things in each person. And I was really happy the way that the community reacted to Kate as a character.
We didn't want to to gamify
今
this
の
kind of
な
thing.
んと言っていいかわかんないけど、すごいいいエ
how the
ピソード
scenes,
です
even
ね。
if it needs to be really in the background and for the player to not to see those rules, but in the end we still need to create the scene with the scripting and a way to make it work. So it was really hard to find the good balance to make it feel the more transparent as possible for the player and just find a good way to have the feeling that it's really a dialogue between Max and Kate. And it was a really hard one to write. There is a lot of branches, there's a lot of variations.
多いですね。多か
And
っ
I
たで
think
す
even
ね。
in the voice recording, it took a really long time.
Yeah.
It was one full session just for Hannah and Diane who plays Kate. It was really important for us to keep this going
そうそう
after.
大変なのもそうですけど、こう、つながりをね、自然に作るのが大変ですよね。
to the following of the game.
I'm going to be here for another day until my
感
family
情の
comes
動
out
き
to
とかが
visit.
つながらないと
How
や
are
っ
they
ぱこ
treating
う、映像
me?
的にお
Like
か
they
しい
need
で
to
すからね。
protect me forever. They're so upset, and I know they feel guilty even though they didn't do anything. I was surprised how many
We wanted
students from
to
Blackwell
talk about
wrote
this
me.
theme of euthanasia,
Even
but
Victoria
to
wrote
find
me.
a way to talk about it that would be respectful for any sort of position, because yeah, it was really important to not try to say this is right, this is wrong, and to let the player really see how he wants to play this scene at this moment based on what he felt for the situations, for Chloe, for her parents and everything. And that was that was not easy to find this balance when doing that.
And again, it's because it's interactive and it's a video game that this scene is so strong, I think. You should
そうで
just
すね。
see a scene
分かっ
and
てて
just,
もやっぱりこ
okay, this is
う、ここはね、
the director point of view.
受け入れる
and that's
方
it.
を
I
選ぶ
accept
の
it
は
or not, but here it
結
will
構
be
き
your
つかったで
choice.
す
So
から
you
ね。
really have to take your time and think about it before making your choice. So
And we've seen all kind of reactions. We've seen players who immediately say, "No, I can't do it," or other players who immediately accept what Chloe is asking. Of course, it's Chloe. I'm accepting, and a lot of others who are hesitating for 5-10 minutes or so. And I think that we've been. I like that we did that, but we've been a bit mean to the player because we give them a third choice of maybe I cannot take any choice on this. But then you have still to take a choice.
Yeah.
But I think it was stronger because it was what we wanted to do with that is to show that at a point you have to take
To decide.
responsibility for your actions and decide something. You cannot get an easy way out.
はい。理想現実に。